Hi everyone, welcome back to Dara Models. In this video I'm going to be doing the fairings for the RC211V. So I've done a bit of prep work already on it to save a bit of time on the video. So all the parts have got primer on. There's two colours that I need to do these. One is the mica blue and one is the fluorescent yellow. So I'm going to be doing the fluorescent yellow first. So in prep for that, what I've done is I've gone round and, as I said, I put the primer on, white coat of primer, and then the white base coat, ground coat, which is this one. And then now I'm ready to do the fluorescent yellow, which is this one. So it's all loaded up in the airbrush ready. So I'll do the yellow first and then do the blue after, because it's a lighter colour. It's easier for masking the lighter colour and spraying the dark than doing it the other way around. So as I said, it's loaded in the airbrush ready to go, so I'll just turn the extractor fan on and then we'll get spraying. So I'll do this piece first. So check flow as usual, make sure it's coming out, and I just want light coats on this and build it up. Nice even coats all the way across like that. And then I've got the back part of the seat. I'll just get in there where it's difficult to access. So both of these parts, this one and the other part, are going to get masked off, and the blue painted on the underside of them. So I'm not bothering about the underside, but I do want to do some overspray on it to make sure that when it comes to masking that I don't have any blank areas. So just keep going through. Build it up gradually until we get the colour that we want. So it's probably going to need quite a few coats on this. So what I will do is I will go off, lay a few more of these colour coats down off camera, and then come back to you when it's actually got some decent amount of colour to it. Right, I've built up the layers now, so as you can see from these, they've got a nice bright yellow to them now. So I'll let that paint set for a bit. As you can see, I've not done the underside of that because it's going to be a different colour. So I've just got that overlap on there. So I'll get those, let those cure for a bit, and then get it masked up, and then the next part painted up. So I'll go through that with you in a few minutes for you. So see you in a bit. Right. Okay, as you can see, I've got these parts painted up now with the fluorescent yellow. But what I need to do is mask it off, because, as I said before, the underside of it is going to be a different colour. So in the kit you get this masking template, which is only half the job. But what I'm going to do is start off with cutting this out, showing you how to mask this up and actually doing it properly, so that you get it aligned. And because that piece fits onto there when it's all built up, what I want to do is follow the masking line across that back piece as well. So I'll show you how I do that. So the first thing I need to do is carefully cut out these masks, and I've got a brand new blade in my knife, so I don't have any problems. So I will go around, cut all of these out, and then I'll come back, because otherwise it's going to be quite boring sitting there watching me cutting around these templates. So I shall be back shortly. Right, so I've got all those cut around. So first thing I'm going to do is put a notch in that so I know where it is. Because that is there as a reference point for that there. So take your templates out. What you don't want to do, if you get a bit that you've missed, is you don't want to pull on it. Get your knife and go and cut it off, because otherwise you'll end up with a bit that's not very neat. So as I said, you've got that notch there, that cut out, and you've also got these green dots that line up with these bits on the side, so it helps you position the mask into the right place. If I get it straight. And it's also cut to the shape of the seat, as you can see. So, and then you've got one at the back there. So if I lay that down, and then that will go up there and cover that bit. Like that. And then what you've got, these other two pieces, which actually sit on this piece here. So I'm going to attach that onto there so that I can make sure I get it in the right place. And what it's giving you is this cut out here, which lines up with that there. So I'll take that off for now, just while I position that on there. And then that goes down there, and then I've got a nice line there, and then I'll do the same on the other side. And something that you possibly may have noticed by now is that there are gaps where there's no masking tape, and that is because Tamiya makes these masking templates as a guide for where you want to go, but assume that you're actually going to use normal masking tape to mask the rest up. So you need to make sure when it comes to it that you do actually do that, because if you don't, then you're going to get the wrong colour paint in places. So if I put that on there and see how that lines up, it's okay on one side and not on the other. So what I'm going to do is carefully try and lay that down to meet that there. How does that look? And then get rid of those pieces. Get some strips of masking tape. And what I'm going to do is just cut off that piece there. And I'm going to overlap that there, so I know where it wants to be, and fold it over. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side with that other piece. Because these templates are all well and good that Tamiya provide, but they are lacking somewhat. So I want that to overlap properly. Like that. Fold it over. So that's going to give me a nice line there. So I'm going to do the same again. For the other side, and then I know that when it comes to it, that my do that piece as well while it's there. I know that my line is going to be straight when it's all assembled. Nothing worse than having wonky lines. So fold that in there, fold that one in there. What you can do is get a cocktail stick and then you can burnish that down. But what I'm left with now is areas that I need to finish masking off. So I'm just making sure that these are pushed down properly, because I don't want paint creeping under them, because that will make a big mess. So now that that's done, is that the right width? Yeah. So if I get a strip of that, and then I can cover that. Just use that cut off there to cover the hole. And I'm going to go round. I need to do the same on that piece there. To cover all of that. Make sure you don't get any overlap over the side, because that will ruin it. So I'm just going to trim that off there. And all I'm interested in is making sure I'm not going to get any overspray on it. So again, cover that up. I'm going to go on the inside of that, put a piece across there as well, so that there's none that's going to get in that hole. Cover these holes up. So, and as I said, I'll cover that bit up as well, and then I'll get back to paint the rest of it. So I'll see you shortly when I'm ready to do that next bit. Okay, back in the spray booth now, and as you can see, I've finished masking these off. So what I've also done is made sure that I've put masking tape on the inside of this, because if I don't and there's some overspray, it's going to go onto those vents and then again ruin it. So I'm ready to start painting and do the next bit. So I've got my airbrush loaded up with the black ground coat for this, so I'll turn the extractor fan on and let's start. You've got to be careful where you've got masking tape that you don't get paint running underneath it. So to start with, I'm going to spray away from it in very light coats. And the other problem that you'll get is a step in it. From where the masking tape is, and the paint builds up around it. So if I get that, if that becomes a problem, then I'll deal with it as and when, but for now I'm just gonna build up some light coats, and I've also got the other parts ready and primer that I need, and I don't need to worry about such light coats on this because there's no masking tape that I need to worry about. So just give it a dusting, and then I've got the belly pan to do and the side fairings. So you'll notice that I've primered the inside of these as well, and what I will do later down the line when everything's painted and all done is I'll just use a normal paintbrush and probably paint those up with matte black or something. Don't need to worry too much about those because they're not really going to be seen. Carry on with the light dust coats on this. So you see there's still plenty of the yellow coming through at the moment, because I'm really not going heavy with it. But what I'll do is I'll carry on doing this off camera, and then I'll come back for the next part. Right, I've got all the ground coat finished off now, as you can see there. Nice black coverage on I've done it on all of the parts now, and let that set for a bit. So I'm ready to move on to the next part now, which, if you look at the colour in there, is quite a bright coloured pink, which is this one, and applied over black base coat it comes out as this mica blue for this bike, and it's the same one that I used on the front mudguard as well, so hopefully I can get it to match. So I'm just going to check my flow, and you can see it's very thin, so it's built up over quite a large number of layers, so if you start playing it you can't see anything happening at all. It just looks like might as well be spraying water, but over a period of coats it will start to have some colour show through. So I will go through all of these, and then when I'm at a point where I've got something that's bringing some colour out, I will come back to you and show you where I'm at. Right, so far I've done 6 coats and it's starting to show some colour come through now. So if you compare it with that one, which is just black, I think you can see on there now that you're starting to get some of the blue coming through. So I'm just going to give it a couple more coats, and then I think I'll be happy with it. So that's what's left of my airbrush from what I had before, so they've only been light coats. So you can see as it's going down now that it's starting to bring the blue out. So that's what I'm going to carry on doing, just a couple more coats like that, and then it should be done. Right, okay, here I am back at the bench again. So you can see that I've got all that painted up now, and you can see the colour there now in comparison to the black. So now's the fun part of unmasking it, and I'm going to be a little bit careful because I've only just finished painting it, so I want to get it off while it's still a bit tacky to reduce the chances of getting a horrible step in the paint, and also see what it's like. So get that off there and try and find some way of holding it. Get that bit out of the middle. So you can see the advantage now with having that bit underneath, that I would have got some bleed through if I'd have not done that. I'm just going to get rid of that little bit there first. I'll do the same on the other side. Carefully peel it away. Yeah. See, I've got a little bit of overspray there where it wasn't masked down fully. I don't know how much of a problem that's going to be knocking the camera, which I don't want to do. Just going to have a look at one of the photos. Might be decal that covers that up, so I might be okay. Looking a bit better, but you can see there's a bit of a step there, but a bit of careful sanding and we can remove that. But overall that looks quite nice. Nice contrasting colour. So take that pin out of there, and I can remove all this masking tape off this one. If I don't take it out of shot. You can possibly notice under here what I've done is I've got some styrene sheet and just glued it across where it's got the seam, just to give it a little bit of strength, and then covered it quite generously with Tamiya Extra Thin for it to melt, and then once it was all dry, just sanded that back. So it doesn't look overly neat, but it doesn't need to, because it's just the bottom of it, and it's just to give it a bit more structural support. And one of the things I was going to do, which I forgot, I was going to put a bit of liquid mask in here to cover that gap, because it wasn't quite covered. So I'm hoping that I've not got too much overspray in there now, which we'll find out in a second. This is always the scary part, is taking masking tape off, because you don't know what you're going to find, how good or bad a job you've done of it, and whether you've missed any major part, or if it's not been stuck down properly. So far I've not got any major problems that I've come across. So, yeah, again, that's not too bad a seam. Let's see what this one goes like. A bit funny on that curve there. Need to tidy that up a bit, but overall it's not too bad. But again, I think No, I need to tidy that up. That's not. I don't know if that's on the decal or not. I think that might be on the decal as well. So yeah, I've got the other parts done as well. So I've got the 2 side fairings, the belly pan, nose cone, and everything. So that'll be it for this video, and in my next video I'll show you the applying the decals, and then we'll go from there. So I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.